Welcome back. You should be super proud of yourself for making it all this way. We've come a long way. Let's try it out, our Food Vision Big deployed machine learning model to the internet. Anyone can use this link. Be sure to share it with your friends, and I'd love to see yours. 2 thumbs up for finishing Food Vision Big. And yeah, we've come a long way from right back in the fundamentals, or even the workflow. Was it fundamentals? We predicted a straight line with PyTorch, somewhere in here. And now we're deploying computer vision models to the internet for everyone to use. So congratulations on making it to the end of milestone project 3, but here are some main takeaways. And the first one is deployment is as important as training. So once you've got your first working model or a good working model, your first question after that should be, how can I deploy this and make it accessible to others? So building on the back of PyTorch transfer learning, one of the main takeaways there was, is there a pre-trained model for the problem I'm working on? And Hugging Face is a great place to find pre-trained models. The same thing with Torch Vision.models or other PyTorch domain libraries. So when you're working on a problem, ask the question, is there a pre-trained model for my particular problem? And then the next question, after you've got a pretty good model, how can I deploy it and make it accessible to others? The reason being is because deployment allows you to test your model in the real world rather than on private training and test sets. Then of course, for machine learning model deployment, the 3 important questions, of course there's many more, but these are just 3 big questions. What's the most ideal use case for the model? How well and how fast does it perform? Once you've thought of the most ideal use case, you can start there and work backwards. So for Food Vision Big and Food Vision Mini, we found that, hey, we want this to work on a mobile device and we want it to be fast. And we want the predictions to come back online. We want it to happen in real time. But there's a few different options here, such as on device, or also known as the edge, the cloud being another computer that isn't the actual device that someone is using. And these can mix and match with online prediction, real time, and offline prediction, batch. So let's go back. Deployment options are aplenty. We've seen Hugging Face Spaces, which is one of the best ways to get started. The same thing with Gradio. And in fact, Hugging Face Spaces is a great place to host your machine learning portfolio. So you can create a whole bunch of machine learning demos and show off your machine learning skills, which is what we've got here already. Mr. D. Burke, these are mine. Food Vision Big video, Food Vision Mini video. They're the 2 ones we did together. And these are ones I prepared earlier, but you could start to build this out. In fact, if you do, please share them with me. I'd love to try them. Never stop experimenting. So even through Milestone Project 3, we did a bunch of experiments. We tried 2 different models, EfficientNet B2 and a VIT feature extractor. And we even experimented with the Food 101 dataset to use 20% of the data. So your next experiment could be with Food 101 to use more images. So what have we got? We did 20% here. So an extension could be to use all of the images and see how much better the model's results go. What did we end up with? About 57, 58% accuracy, thereabouts. So see what happens if you added in the rest of the data. Just beware, it may take a little bit longer to train because there's 5 times as much data. And then finally, what's our last main takeaway? There's a fair few here. We've covered a lot of ground. And machine learning model deployment is part of the engineering practice of ML Ops, which stands for Machine Learning Operations. And so machine learning operations is an extension of DevOps, which is the practice of development operations, and involves all the engineering parts around training a model, such as data collection and storage, processing, model deployment, model monitoring, versioning, and more. We haven't covered all of those things, but the good news is we've had hands-on practice of deploying a model to the real world, something that someone else can use. So if you'd like to read more about this, because it is a rapidly evolving field, I've linked a bunch of things in the PyTorch extra resources section, which is available in the book version of the course. We have resources for machine learning and deep learning, some great books here, but there's a whole bunch more here. PyTorch Pure resources, libraries that make PyTorch better, books for PyTorch, where to find data sets, tools for deep learning domains, computer vision, NLP, speech and audio, recommendation engines, time series, and finally, how to get a job as a machine learning engineer. To finish off, there are some exercises. I've created a template notebook. I've created a solutions notebook. They are here. And there's a video, a live walkthrough of the solutions on YouTube if you'd like to watch me going through the exercise template there. And then finally, if you'd like to learn more about some of the topics that we've covered in here, there is a bunch of extracurriculum resources there. One of my favorite recent articles that I've read is moving ML inference from the cloud to the edge. So I'd highly recommend going and check out not only that, but everything that's here. If it's made it here, it's a good resource. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for following along with Milestone Project 3. We've now officially deployed our Food Vision Mini model to the internet as a usable app, and not only Food Vision Mini, but Food Vision Big. So happy machine learning, and I'll see you next time.